Diving is usually calm and controlled, but panic can take over in seconds. In this video, we cover 4 real diving incidents, from a diver flailing beneath the surface to divers finding themselves panicked in overhead environments. Let's get started. This first video covers a well-known incident caught on camera. I'm certainly not the first to analyze it, but it remains one of the most unsettling examples of cold water panic unfolding at depth. The diver with the camera seems to be the dive guide and tries to get everyone's attention and gives them the "let's go up and end the dive" signal. Shortly after, a group of divers begin their ascent, but 2 figures remain behind, still hovering in the green, murky water at around 50 meters of depth. In just 10 seconds, a horrifying sequence of events unfolds. The diver panics and she knocks out her own regulator. Seconds later, she tears off her own mask. The dive recording moves closer, and the moment her bare face comes into view is deeply unsettling. The wide eyes are filled with raw fear. This is an eerie moment showing someone human being overwhelmed by the belief that they are drowning. The diver filming approaches from the front, an extremely dangerous position. Any rescue course will teach you to come from behind to avoid exactly what's happening here. A panicked diver can unintentionally harm or endanger the rescuer, in this case the cameraman. Still, he tries, he reaches for her and attempts to place the regulator back into her mouth, but panic wins and it doesn't work. With no other option left, they begin to ascend and pull her upwards. They ascend at a rate close to that of their bubbles, indicated by them being in a cloud of bubbles during their entire ascent. In normal conditions, divers rise slowly and stop for several minutes at 5 meters, known as a safety stop. They do this to allow excess nitrogen to safely leave the body. Skipping this step risks decompression sickness, which can cause intense pain, paralysis, or worse. And at 15 meters of depth at the end of the dive, that risk is very real. But none of that seems to matter in this moment. This is about survival. They break the surface and the woman gasps violently for air, but alive. It's unclear what happened to the woman after this video ended, but based on the description of the video, it does seem like she survived without further injury. Otherwise, I'm sure that specific detail would have been added to the video's description. It's worth noting that even an experienced diver can panic underwater, and sometimes the reason this occurs is unclear. In the video, there is a lack of context as to why this specific diver panicked, but it's a chilling reminder that a single moment of panic or disorientation can spiral into a life or death scenario in seconds. The next video we're going to cover is another example of how quickly a fun experience can turn into one you will never forget as panic sets in. Yet this time, it's in an overhead environment, which means the diver can't build up. The diver recording this video is performing one of his 5 adventure dives, part of his advanced scuba diving course. Interestingly, despite this being his first ever wreck dive, they seem to be penetrating deep into the wreck due to the lack of daylight. It's either that or it's a night dive. As the diver moves through the wreck, his air hose becomes snagged. Let's see how that plays out. It's not immediately obvious what happened to the dive recording, and that uncertainty is what triggers the panic. The diver immediately starts breathing rapidly as panic takes over. Realizing he's stuck, the diver does one thing he knows might get attention. He flashes his scuba light repeatedly. It's a clear and the correct distress signal. Thankfully, the instructor notices this and comes over immediately. According to the video's uploader, he explains that he was already thinking through possible solutions after about 10 seconds of panic, such as taking off his equipment to untangle himself. Thankfully, his instructor frees the snagged hose and stabilizes the situation before it can escalate further. What I believe makes this clip so powerful isn't just the mistake, it's how quickly panic appears and how equally quickly it can be resolved with proper training, awareness, and supervision. Given the stressful situation, I believe both divers acted exceptionally well and are part of the reason this diver made it out safely. And sometimes the difference between a close call and disaster is as simple as being seen in time. This next video involves a diver doing a training course. It starts with the scuba instructor showing an essential skill, which is blowing water through a half, or in this case, fully filled scuba mask. You learn this skill in your basic underwater course to counter situations such as a leaky mask or where you might have gotten some water in your mask due to a thin kick to the face. This is easily one of the most intimidating skills for a new diver to learn. I still vividly remember watching multiple divers in my group struggle with it during my first open water course, especially the next step, which is full mask removal. The correct way to do it is to press the top of your mask, tilt your head up slightly, and exhale steadily through your nose at the bottom of your mask. Let's see how she fares clearing a fully flooded mask. The diver in question struggles to empty her scuba mask due to unfamiliarity with the skill. You can see her panic take hold. Her breathing quickens, and she gives the classic thumbs up signal indicating she wants to end the dive. Thankfully, the instructor stays calm and keeps her steady, guiding her to slow, controlled breaths. By this point, she's partially cleared her mask and begins to regain composure with his support. Once she's calmer, he signals the other students to come over and practice the technique themselves. And his calm presence is so reassuring that even the fish seem to pause and watch the scene unfold. The reason the mask clearing skill is taught becomes painfully clear in this next video, involving a leaky mask causing the diver to panic in an overhead environment. This incident happened during a dive in the cavern section of the Guinea Springs Cave in Florida. Now, this diver forgot to tighten their mask straps, causing it to slowly flood throughout the beginning of the dive. After unsuccessfully trying to clear the mask for about 3 minutes, the sensation triggered a panic response, creating the false feeling of drowning. The diver then did something he wouldn't have done if he had a clear state of mind. The panic caused him to remove the mask, resulting in him losing vision, feeling water up his nose, and struggling to breathe properly. I will now play the rest of the footage so you can watch the event unfold. Just a heads up, some viewers may find it disturbing. Whoa. I felt that video just as you did. What just happened in the footage you just witnessed was the more experienced cave diver, his buddy, holding his regulator in place while guiding and pulling him to the surface because according to the diver in a later comment, he was unable to move amidst the panic. After surfacing, his dive buddy was angry and frustrated, which is understandable given the scary situation, but as I mentioned before, you don't quite plan panic, and it can set in when you least expect it, even if you're an experienced diver. In this case, the diver in question was not an experienced cavern diver, and the next bits of information shared by the diver themselves will definitely shock you. This diver was a freshly certified open water diver with very little experience. I'm talking his 5th or 6th dive. Yet he attempted a challenging overhead environment where mistakes can be deadly. This highlights the importance of sticking to open water dives for skill building and confidence and gradually training within your limits before attempting overhead environments such as caves. The reason behind this risky attempt was the uploader's desire to overcome claustrophobia. And even more remarkably, they returned to the exact same spot 30 minutes later to confront the traumatic experience rather than risk giving up diving altogether. Absolutely baffling. While I do commend his courage, this is irresponsible and flat-out reckless behavior. I do have to thank the diver for sharing this near-death experience because there aren't many videos such as this one, but I do hope he learned a valuable lesson and at least reduced his fear of enclosed spaces a little because of this incident. I'm glad he's okay, but it could have ended very differently. Like and subscribe for more scary scuba footage.